So we have a very interesting situation that is playing out right now. Because as voters and lawmakers saw that there was an opening and the door was cracked open for President Biden to vacate the Oval Office, well, now they're pushing for it. They are demanding it. This is voters. This is lawmakers. They both want a change. Now, I'm going to break down what's going on and why President Biden has reportedly given himself a few days to see can he turn things around. Because he talked to many Democratic governors just yesterday, and they told him that they will back him, but according to reports, he has to prove that he can run the country. So we're going to break all that down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So the next few days are critical, and President Biden knows this because President Biden has privately acknowledged the next stretch of days are critical for whether he can save his re-election bid. As of right now, many Democrats do not believe President Biden can save his candidacy. They don't think he can. But, and I want to bring this up in just a moment, I will talk about this. I got a comment from a community member just the other day, or not a comment, an email. And in this email, they're talking about their boss, who's a pretty big donor, goes to a lot of these different DNC events. And, well, what he has to say is interesting because this could potentially derail the Biden campaign. But I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But here's what we know. Right now, Democrats, and I've been talking about this for 2 years. I was talking about this in the midterm elections, that many lawmakers were hoping that President Biden would come to his senses. That he'd come to his senses and he would pretty much step down then, because he was making it difficult for them to pass bills. Here's the reason why. Democrats have been wanting to tax and spend for years. This is their plan, to tax the American people and then spend it in the way they see fit. Well, here's the issue. The only people President Biden wants to tax are billionaires, large corporations. Anybody that makes over $400,000 per year, he would consider taxing them just a little bit more. However, it's becoming very difficult to tax only a certain group of people just because they make a little bit extra. Because President Biden's statement when he was running for election the first time was pretty simple. If you make less than $400,000 per year, we will not raise your taxes, not even 1 penny. Well, he said he's stuck by that. Democrats say that that is one of the things that is holding them back. If they could tax and spend, they could actually push for other things. They could make this country better. But they can't do that if they're being handcuffed by the president and they cannot tax the American people anymore. Well, that's where things are getting very interesting. But as all this is happening, guess what? The other front runner on the other side, this is former President Donald Trump. Well, according to The Hill, Trump is staying quiet as Biden implodes. Guess what? We are seeing former President Donald Trump, his schedule is actually starting to become a little more open. You know why? He doesn't feel like he needs to do all those rallies. He doesn't need to do all those rallies because the Biden administration and the Biden campaign is completely blowing up. But guess what? It doesn't stop there. There's a lot of pressure being put on President Biden right now. But look at this. According to a CNN poll just the other day, it says most voters think Democrats have a better chance of keeping the White House if Biden isn't the nominee. Well, that's where the Trump campaign is currently sitting. If President Biden does not decide to step down, the Trump campaign, according to reports, is going to take a step back and going to let things just play out. Just like the Biden campaign did when former President Donald Trump was in New York for his arraignment, right? And when he was, doing all that stuff in court, that was an issue. But guess what Biden was doing? Just being patient, just waiting, letting the public have their kind of eyes see what was going on. That's what the Trump administration or the Trump campaign is doing at this time as well. I want to show you this though. As all this stuff's happening, all these different situations and scenarios are playing out. Look at this. It says Governor Gavin Newsom. Joe Biden says he's all in on presidential campaign at meeting of Democratic governors. There was a closed-door meeting that took place just yesterday. In that meeting, President Biden said he's all in. However, some governors do not believe that he is capable of running the country for, again, another 4 years. And I bring this up because this is what many people have seen. Many experts have seen this. That President Biden wasn't the youngest person when he first came in, but he was somewhat capable of running the country. Okay? Somewhat. Over the past 3.5 years, his his state of mind, his physical abilities have diminished. And they've diminished substantially. Just over the past 3.5 years. What's going to happen in the next 6 months? This next election will really take a toll on President Biden. So if he does get elected, the next 4 years could be a massive, massive struggle. Or this could be one of the stunts that Democrats are playing where President Biden sits in as the front runner, Kamala Harris is the running mate, then once he gets elected, he steps out. And then Kamala Harris is now in charge. Well, we'll see. I want to read you this comment though, or this email that I received. This is from somebody that works for a donor. This person says, and I quote, Adam, I think things are going to get bad here pretty soon. Joe Biden made a big mistake when he debated Donald Trump, but my boss, who is a pretty big donor and attends a lot of the DNC events, said that this downfall was planned. He said that his party wanted to see Biden on the big stage and see if he could handle the pressure without a teleprompter. And obviously we know how that went. But he said that many mega donors that he has talked to are not going to contribute any more unless a change is made. In other words, the money will stop if Biden is still in charge. Now, we went back and forth a little bit. This person does reveal who her boss is, the company that he runs and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into that much detail, but this person is a pretty substantial donor. Okay, has given a lot of money to the Biden campaign, and did it 4 years ago as well. So this isn't anything new, but this donor has been talking to other mega donors, and being that I know who this is, I can see that. And so by this person coming out and saying that her boss said that he is not going to, him and other mega donors are not going to contribute anymore unless a change is made, that's pretty big. Because guess what? This is the time where the Republican Party is going all in as well. They're going to push. They see blood in the water. They're going to push. If Biden is stepping out, if Biden is going to simply vacate the Oval Office or decide to withdraw his candidacy. Two big moves. But again, I bring this up right now because right now, voters and lawmakers, donors, okay, governors, in many cases, all want Biden out. They want to get him out because they believe that things are only going to get worse the longer we drag this out. So, as of right now, we know President Biden is going to give himself a few days, so probably by Monday, we're going to have an answer. Is President Biden going to withdraw his candidacy? Is he going to resign as the President of the United States, whereas Kamala Harris will then step in as the new president? Or what will we see? Well, We're going to find out soon enough. The one thing I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way, and I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.